In a small town just outside Toledo, Ohio, sits an old brick warehouse. It's the kind of building you drive past 1,000 times without ever really seeing it. But for Caleb Morgan, that building became the turning point of his entire life. Caleb was 29, working the grueling night shift at a shipping warehouse. The pay was just okay. The hours were long, and the recognition, well, there was pretty much none. Every single night at 11 p.m., while the city was quiet and asleep, Caleb was on his feet, lifting boxes, scanning labels, and pushing heavy carts down what felt like endless concrete aisles. For most of his coworkers, this was just a temporary gig, a stepping stone. But for Caleb, the job felt like something else entirely, invisible. Still, he showed up, night after night. Not because he was passionate about stacking boxes, but because he held on to a belief in what the work could eventually lead to. Just 2 years earlier, Caleb had walked across a graduation stage, full of hope, but saddled with student debt. The reality of the real world hit him, and it hit him hard. His inbox filled up with rejection emails. The interviews he did get went nowhere. He watched as his friends moved on to start their careers, while he felt stuck, left behind. There were many nights he'd find himself alone, asking, "Is this it? Is this all my life is going to be?" But every time that dark thought crept in, he pushed back with action. During his short breaks, instead of scrolling social media, he'd pull out his phone and study logistics videos. After his shifts ended, he'd often stay an extra hour, unpaid, just to help his supervisors close out their reports. On his weekends, while others were resting, Caleb was teaching himself the complex spreadsheet and inventory systems that most other workers actively ignored. Nobody asked him to do any of this. Nobody gave him a pat on the back. But Caleb kept going, day in and day out, in the quiet, under the dim warehouse lights. Then came one chaotic winter morning. A massive, critical shipment had arrived late because of a system glitch. Panic spread like wildfire across the warehouse floor. Managers were yelling, deadlines were collapsing, and everything was grinding to a halt. And that's when Caleb stepped forward. He calmly pulled up the data he'd been studying for months, pointed out the core problem, and proposed a simple fix to reorganize the routes. It wasn't some stroke of genius, it was just a practical solution born from hours of unseen preparation. But it worked. The chaos subsided. And for the very first time, people didn't just look at Caleb, they saw him. A week later, a manager asked him to help with some planning. A month after that, they started training him for a new coordinator role. And just 6 months later, Caleb was officially promoted. He was in the same warehouse, the same old brick building, but suddenly, he was seeing a world of different opportunities. See, Caleb didn't just get lucky. He got ready. And that S, the truth that so many of us miss, Opportunities don't just appear out of thin air. Preparation comes first. Your hard work isn't just about the effort you put in today, it's about positioning yourself for tomorrow. Sometimes the results aren't immediate. Sometimes your work is happening behind the scenes, building skills, forging discipline, and earning trust when no one is watching. So, if you're out there right now, grinding away, feeling like nobody notices, I want you to listen to this very carefully. Your effort is not wasted. Your discipline is not invisible. And your consistency is building something incredibly powerful. We love to celebrate big success stories, but we rarely talk about the quiet, relentless grind that made them possible. Caleb's story isn't special because he had some rare talent. It's special because of his persistence. If you keep showing up, if you keep learning, if you keep putting in the work, even when it feels pointless, opportunity will eventually find you. It has to. Because hard work doesn't just create results. Hard work creates opportunities. And when opportunity finally meets preparation, your life can change forever. So please, keep going. Thanks for watching.